Alright gamers, it's time to put away those 99-cent Spec Op games because we're looking at some of the most expensive and valuable PlayStation games in existence. That means not just in North America, but in Japan and in PAL regions. These games are extremely rare due to misprints, limited editions, or just a short production life. Whatever the case may be, if you have these games in your collection, you're sitting on a small fortune. Now the prices I'm including in this list are just the average prices for ungraded games. I'm not including WADA graded games that can easily reach thousands and thousands of dollars. These prices are the ones you'd find on eBay or at gaming conventions. But before we get into this list, make sure you subscribe to this channel to watch future content on retro gaming lists. Without further ado, here are 10 valuable PS1 games. Mad Stalker. Who likes side-scrolling beat-em-ups featuring mechs? If that's you, I have a treat for you. If you have a Japanese PlayStation. Mad Stalker Full Metal 4th was originally released in 1994 on home computers and then remade in 1997 for the PlayStation in Japan. It was met with good praise as critics noted the graphics, sound design, and fun gameplay. Much like other beat-em-ups, you'll face a boss at the end of the stage, and with 6 stages of beat-em-up action and plenty of fun gameplay and controls, Mad Stalker offers a challenging experience, but again, it was released only in Japan. Looking to add this to your collection? Well, you're looking at spending $370. Clonoa Door to the Phantom Mile. Kicking off the Clonoa series in 1998 in North America was Clonoa Door to the Phantom Mile. The game features Clonoa who must save the dream world from an evil spirit in this platform adventure. It was a smash hit with critics as it scored very high, but that didn't equate to a ton of sales and was eventually dubbed a sleeper hit. But those who did play the game enjoyed the gameplay as Clonoa can grab enemies, throw them, or use them to jump boost throughout the stage. It is now considered one of the best PS1 platformers, and if you want to experience this game, you may have to jump through a few hoops because the average price for it sits at $375. Serial Experiments Lane. Alright, who wants an anime game on this list? Well, you got it with Serial Experiments Lane that was released in Japan only in 1998. Consider this a visual novel style game as you play as a therapist who is trying to unlock the mind of another character by asking questions and going through diaries and multimedia clips. The game's plot doesn't exactly follow the anime series, but it stays pretty close to the source material. The game was criticized for its boring gameplay, long loading times, lack of music, and clunky interface. So unless you are a hardcore collector, it's unlikely that you'll want this game in your collection. But if you do, you'll have to shell out $540, and if that's the case, then I hope you speak to a therapist as well. The Misadventures of Tron. Lovers of Capcom and the Mega Man Legends series will be familiar with this title, but few will have it in their collection. The Misadventures of Tron follows the anti-hero, Tron and her quest to pay off a massive loan. There's plenty of different gameplay, ranging from puzzle stages where you move boxes, to adventure stages and action stages similar to the Mega Man Legends series. The Misadventures of Tron was praised in most reviews, so it's a quality game, but you will be paying for it. I'm not entirely sure why the game today is so expensive. Perhaps it had a limited production, or it sold poorly, but it's now going for $550. Castlevania Symphony of the Night Limited Edition. Who likes big boxes? If so, you may be excited to learn that Castlevania Symphony of the Night has a limited edition big box version that was released in Europe. With this edition, you'll receive an exclusive CD and art book. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one of the top rated games on the PlayStation, so you're getting an amazing game with that exclusive art book and CD. But if you don't care about those, you could just get the regular version, which is still a little bit pricey at around $150. Whichever version you get, you'll be playing as Alucard, who rises from his slumber to explore Dracula's castle. If you want the limited edition, it may be too rich for your blood, as it's valued at $600. The Adventure of Little Ralph. Some of you may know Little Nemo, but have you met his cousin Little Ralph? Just kidding, no relation, but The Adventure of Little Ralph was released in Japan in 1999. As a 2D platform game, you'll play as Ralph, who has been turned into a child that needs to rescue a damsel in distress. There's a total of 8 stages, and the game saw a lot of praise for the high quality of graphics, music, and difficulty. During boss fights, Ralph will transform back into an adult, and the gameplay becomes a fighting game. Sadly, The Adventure of Little Ralph was stuck in Japan, but I'd love to see it re-released in North America. To take this adventure now, however, you're going to need to pay around $700. Symphony Filter 3, the 9/11 edit. Set for release on September 25th, 2001, Symphony Filter 3 was going to be the final addition to the series on the original PlayStation. The original artwork for this game doesn't feature the Twin Tower buildings, but it does feature characters from the series in a government building with a large American flag in the background with poisonous gas surrounding them. Sony wanted to be mindful of the terrorist attacks that had just happened with 9/11, and so they decided to change the artwork. Some shipments of the original artwork had already made their way to retailers, and they were instructed to send those copies back to receive the new version of Symphony Filter 3. This version of Symphony Filter 3 was released in November 2001 instead of late September. Not all of the copies, though, were accounted for, and you can still find the 9/11 edit, but due to the extreme rarity of it, it does go for a pretty penny. You can expect to pay around $750 to get it. LSD Dream Emulator. Have you always wanted to drop LSD, but you're too much of a square? Well, me too, but with LSD Dream Emulator, now we don't have to be shamed for our straight edge ways. Released in Japan in 1998, LSD Dream Emulator is an exploration game without any objective. The player can only move around, and when certain objects are touched, it will warp the player to other settings. The dreamlike game is in first person, and most of the levels last around 10 minutes to explore. Once you experience a dream, you can revisit it again, only for the game to induce more surreal and psychedelic elements each time. If there's one thing you want to avoid in these dreams, it's the shadow men, who may follow the player around into your dreams. If touched by these shadow men, any progress in the dream is reset. If you're looking to buy this game, it will cost you around $800. And no, you ain't tripping, that's the real price. Harmful Park. Love cute 'em ups? Well, you're gonna love this game as long as you have a Japanese PlayStation. Released in 1997 in Japan only, Harmful Park is a shoot 'em up game set in a theme park with tons of cute enemies to blast. Similar to the Parodius series, players will blow away cute enemies including gorillas, inflatable dinosaurs, and one gigantic woman. And your ammo may just include some jelly beans and ice cream. While the game isn't too difficult, it was praised as a fairly good game with tons of personality. But getting your hands on it is going to be a difficult task. You'll have to dish out around $830 for a copy of this game. Cindy's Fashion World. This next game is an absolute must-have if you're an 8-year-old girl. Cindy's Fashion World was developed by Games and published by Phoenix Games in 2004 only in PAL regions. There are a few different types of fashion adventures that you can take, including dressing your pet, pigging out on sweets, and hitting the shopping mall with your girls. The gameplay looks to be pretty simple because this looks like more of a visual game rather than any skill or challenge involved. If you'd like to upgrade your fashion sense and get this game into your library, you're looking at spending around $1,000 for a complete used version. But why buy this game when you can get something real Gucci for that type of money?
Hi, Kate. Wow, hi, Cindy. How are you doing, girl? I am super cool. And you? I'm fine. Let's go out. Go out? That is super fun. Let's call Diana.
So those were 10 valuable games for the PlayStation. Which of these games have you heard of? Or which of these games do you have in your collection? Are you sitting on a small fortune? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more retro gaming lists. Thanks for watching.